Bring Jrue Holiday back.
You are Locked On 76ers, your daily Philadelphia 76ers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, I'm Keith Pompey, host of Locked On 76ers. Thanks for making Locked On 76ers your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Jace Medical, right? Empower yourself when you purchase a Jace case, providing you with a personal supply of 5 antibiotics that treat 50 plus infections. Get yours today at jacemedical.com. That's JASE medical.com. We got a lot to talk about today. Today, first off, I want to talk about Jrue Holiday. Last night or, on Wednesday, we saw a blockbuster trade, including the Portland Trail Blazers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Phoenix Suns. Well, what that did is Dame Lillard, who wanted out of Portland, ended up in Milwaukee, right? So now they got the two-headed monster of Dame and Giannis, two future Hall of Famers, right? But the thing is, Jrue Holiday, former 76er, who have had a great career here in Philly, had a great career in New Orleans, and then the past several years, had a great career in Milwaukee, helped lead them to a championship, was traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, Portland is trying to flip him, right? Trying to trade Jrue because they want to get young players. And they know they can get some assets for Jrue. Now, the Sixers are interested in Jrue Holiday, right? Now, to me, I'm telling you, if the Sixers got Jrue Holiday, it will catapult them. Now, again, will it catapult them up to say, like, okay, they're going to win a championship? I don't know. That's to be determined. But I'm here to tell you, right now, with this James Harden situation they have, we all know that James wants to be traded. He wants out. He keeps having these antics, this and that. It's one of those things. If you got Jrue and you traded James, I think it's going to be better off for the Sixers. I do. I think that's something that the Sixers have to do now, like pronto. Get it over with. Like, let's try to see what we can get for this guy. Because let's face it, I also think in order for that to happen, it's going to have to be a 3-team trade, right? With that being said, a 3-team trade, that means because I don't think Portland wants James Harden, right? So the deal is, what happens is, James could go to the Clippers where he wants to go. Jrue Holiday can come to Philly. And then Portland can get something, maybe some draft picks, maybe some young players, you know what I mean, to incorporate a 3-team trade. Now, the holdup is that, not really a holdup, but word coming out of LA is the Clippers still don't want to get rid of Terrence Mann. So, there's something to monitor, but I'm telling you, the Sixers need to go after Jrue. I mean, he's a guy that they traded to start the process. We all get that, right? It was all supposed to work out. Everything was supposed to be cool, but they never really replaced him, right? They never you might say they got Ben Simmons, right? Ben Simmons was an all-star. Everybody was excited about him early on, but we know how that ended. In addition to that, you look at Jrue. Jrue Holiday is a selfless player. He can score. He can do whatever he can, but he's a phenomenal defender. And he's the type of guy that can basically fit in with a lot of different guys because guess what? He left his ego. He doesn't have an ego, right? He doesn't. He's a guy that's like, you got certain guys who want to put up stats, but you got other guys who are more focused on doing whatever they can to help a team win. I'm telling you, to me, he would be the missing link to get them back because what happened is we all understand what's going on with the Sixers. We all understand the problems that they have and everything like that, right? But then when you factor in that all those problems and everything that they're dealing with, and you see Dame Lillard go to Milwaukee, well, all of a sudden, Milwaukee was ahead of the Sixers like this, and now the teams the gap is widening. I'm talking about, the gap in regards to being a contender this year. The Sixers have dropped down and Milwaukee has elevated. Now, I know the Denver Nuggets won a chip, so everybody's going to look at them. But when you add Dame Lillard to that Milwaukee squad, and then you have Chris Middleton, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Milwaukee is the team that's going to be favored to come out of the East, right? And I honestly think that they can win their second title in 4 years. That's how good this addition is for them. So when we look at it, who are some of the valuable point guards the Sixers can go out there and get, right? You ask yourself that. Who are some of the valuable point guards the Sixers go out there and get? And to me, there's no other available guy that you can get that a team is trying to part ways with right now other than Jrue Holiday. But you know what? It could be costly. A team may say, as part of that package, does Maxey? The teams ask for Maxey? What happens? So the Sixers got to think long and hard what they want to get rid of. But I'm here to tell you, if the Sixers are talking about they want to win now, like they want to win this season, you got to go out there and you got to get Jrue. I'm sorry. You have to go out there and you have to get Jrue Holiday.
You are Locked On 76ers, your daily Philadelphia 76ers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let me talk to you guys about Jace Medical. The Jace case provides 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use. All it takes to get a Jace case is fill out a simple online form, and in some cases, jump on a quick call with one of our broad certified physicians. Get ongoing care from our physicians on any treatment-related questions. Doctors created, doctor recommended. And the thing you don't want to do is you do not want to be unprepared. Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. Jace handles everything from online evaluations to licensed pharmacy, medication, delivery, and ongoing consultation. So I'm telling you, go out there and get this Jace case. Do it. I'm telling you. And what you do is you get $20 off on these life-saving antibiotics today from Jace Medical by using the code LOCKEDON at checkout on jacemedical.com. That's Jace, Jase, medical.com. Do it today, people. Definitely do it today. Now, here's the thing. So around the time that word broke that the Dame Lillard trade happened, the blockbuster that sent, Jrue Holiday to Portland. Around that same time, word broke that or videos were online of James Harden's party in Houston. Now, in the party, they made a point to whoever did the video. Seems like a nice party. They had a lot of fun, right? I guess that's what young millionaires do, right? But in the party, there was a sign where a hostess had a sign that was walking around with a sign saying Daryl Morey is a liar. Now that is what James Harden said before when he was in China. Now, so basically, is it ironic that it came out the same time? But I feel like it was going to come out anyway, right? I do, I honestly do. You take a video like that, it's for the intention of it to come out, no matter what. But what that did is it lets you know that the Sixers it may be in the Sixers' best interest to make a deal rather sooner than later, right? It does. And as much as there's going to be competition for Jrue, as much as other things that they have to do, James is letting everyone know that he's going to become a distraction. Now, he may not say anything. He may show up in a fat suit. He may do this and that. But there are going to be clips probably on social media, people saying stuff that is going to be in the Sixers' best interest to just wash this thing away, get away with it. And I think that's why, if it was me, and if you want to think about this, this trade may get hold up, 3-team trade, because they may want to add additional team to it. So what that means is, for best for everyone, we could see something happening this weekend. And I think that would be great for the 76ers. You bring in, if you get Jrue, you bring Jrue in. This weekend, or whenever, right before the start of media day or training camp, it's done, over with. Because I'm telling you, it was funny because the Harden thing kind of, I'm not going to say it died down, but as of last week, you talk to people and they say they haven't, they don't know if he's coming back or not. They don't know if he's showing up, to camp or not. You also know that he and Kelly Oubre do not get along at all, right? The Sixers signed Kelly Oubre. So you know that that's going to be a sticky situation, right? So with all that being said, it's one of those things where you look at it and you say, just get it over with. I mean, really. And I don't know if you got to get somebody else involved or what have you do to appease Portland. And I believe there's going to be some other teams that are going to throw players at him, like, for instance, the Boston Celtics, right? But when I look at the Celtics, I'm saying to myself, if I'm Portland, do I want Malcolm Brogdon or someone like that? Do I? Like, I don't know if I do. Because what they're saying is they want young talent, right? Or what about Miami? I mean, do they re-engage with Miami and say, okay, we're going to, maybe we'll take Tyler Hero now. Maybe we'll take someone else. Like, well, what are they going to do? Maybe we'll take some picks, But if I'm the Sixers, this is a way of making right. This is a way of the quickest way of making your team a contender again. Now here's the deal. Jrue has 2 years left on his contract. The second year, this season and next, but next season is a player option, right? Now, what he talked about was he wanted to get an extension with Milwaukee. He wanted to stay with Milwaukee. Well, we see how that one went, right? But maybe it could be someone that the Sixers could extend. But I'm here to tell you, for a team that's desperate to get out of the second round, and you got James doing all these antics, it's time for it to end. It really is. It is. It's time for it to go. I mean, training camp hasn't even started, and the distraction is here. It could become a circus, and they've been down that road before, right? They've been down this road before, right? So, those are some of the things that the Sixers have to brace themselves for, and we'll see how that works. Now, thing is, with Jrue Holiday, we talked about it. I said that, before yesterday, me and my man John Mitchell were talking about the Sixers, how they won 54 games last year, and we didn't expect them to come close to that. I mean, I think with Jrue, they could probably win 50 games. I do. I think that they'll be competitive and, this and that. But, guys who also this would enable guys like Tobias to do more, right? Because even thinking when James isn't going to be here, James not here, Tobias might have a larger role. But Jrue is the type of guy, I said, who he's all about being a great teammate. High basketball IQ, great person. He just wants to win. So that will help out that will let the other teammates shine. But at the same time, I'm telling you, defensively, he'll get after it. He'll do whatever he has to do. So those are certain things that I think that this team is going to enjoy, especially if he comes. He brings that dog mentality. And Joel. Now the thing is, in Joel, he'll try to focus him. Now, will he have the 10 assists and like leading assists like James had? Probably not. No, I don't see that. But what I do see is the other attributes that's going to help Maxey shine. Because when you look at it, Maxey and James defensively were a bad backcourt. And then also you look at it, they're saying they want Tobias to guard the other opposing team's best perimeter player. Well, Jrue can do that. And then when you bring in Pat Bev off the bench and DeAnthony Melton, now all of a sudden you have a solid perimeter defensive unit. So those are things to think about, right? 3 things to think about. But look, y'all, I want to thank y'all for listening. I want y'all to have a blessed day. And, know you can get this podcast wherever you get your podcast at, free and available, right? And we'll also make sure you go to the Locked On 76ers YouTube channel, right? Once you do that, click on that Liberty Bell, you become a new subscriber, and you get notifications when the latest podcast comes out. So do that today, people. Definitely do it today. In peace.